Air shows, the sky fills with white-knuckle feats of flight, and from below, hundreds gawk in awe. Everyone knows the risk, both the crews riding their speeding bullets and the spectators standing in the line of fire. Maybe that's the attraction. The thrill is in the danger. Schenectady, New York, an August Sunday.
We were standing close to the runway, and within a few minutes we noticed that there was a helicopter approaching. And then it seemed like for a long period of time he was hovering just nose in toward us.
We were sitting out with our feet dangling over the side of the helicopter, looking at the crowd, basically putting on an air show performance.
We're in a high hover, very heavy aircraft, because we'd only been in the air less than an hour, so full load of gas.
And then I noticed we started to descend. But I noticed we were picking up a tremendous amount of speed.
One of the guys behind us yelled, "Rotor wash."
All we had enough time to do was to swing our feet in before we hit.
Time for me seemed to stop, and I had this strange sensation that I was absolutely certain that I was going to die. Under my breath, I said goodbye to my wife just before we hit.
It hits with such an impact, and it's like when you take a beer can or something, you crumple it. Just like everything just kind of crinkle up and stuff, and you kind of get an eerie feeling, like a chill up your spine. You just go, oh God, like this thing's just tearing apart.
And all this time that they were descending, I'm looking right into the pilot's eyes, and I could see his eyes get bigger and bigger.
Objects being tossed in the air, glass shattering. The flight control cables that go through the ceiling, I can hear them snapping. Like the cable snaps, and you kind of turn your head, and all of a sudden, if that cable would have hit you, it could have taken your head off.
And the helicopter started to roll over very gradually, and that's when the blades started hitting the ground. And then the blades started to come apart. They were destroying themselves. And at that time, the same time, the tail broke. And the blades from the tail were starting to scatter. And I thought, this is it. They're going to be coming apart and into us. And now it looked like a twisted, turning, dying insect as it was going around on the tarmac.
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down! Get down!
After the dust settles, I can hear fluid dripping. I can smell real noxious odors. Everything's really quiet for a few seconds. And I'm going, oh God, am I the only one that survived? See Jim Simpson in the back, and he's kind of in a little ball. And I look at him, and he's all kind of like bent and twisted. Not a normal shape that would see somebody, almost like in a fetus position.
I'm sure I must have passed out for maybe a second or two because I recall being flipped. I knew there was something wrong, but I knew also that I had to get out.
He says to me, he said, you got to help me, you got to get me out. And I said, don't worry about it. And I tried to reassure him. I said, hey, I'll look after you, man. You're my responsibility.
The cargo door that we had been sitting in was now, I would say, 8 to 10 feet above our heads. And my fear at that point was there was going to be an imminent explosion.
Stay down! Stay down!
I'm pushing him up, and I can feel something dripping down my back. I don't know if it's the sweat or whatever. But what I didn't realize is I had a broken back at the time. I'd cut both my shoulder blades open, but that wasn't my concern. My biggest thing is to get him out of there before it explodes.
Everybody stay down! Everybody stay down, okay? How about somebody help him?
I remember them shouting at me, get away, it's going to blow. And I shouted back to them, I can't move. I was absolutely amazed by the fact that these people risked their lives to run forward to pick me up. And that's something that I'll always remember.
When you hover in one spot for a long period of time, you're actually destroying your airflow, because as the rotor blade goes around, you start pushing the air away, and it's like you cut a hole in the sky, and the helicopter comes down. And basically that's what caused us to crash that day, because we created a big hole, and we just fell into it. Fortunately enough that nobody got hurt. That was a miracle in itself.
If you believe in fate, I suppose, as many people do, when your time comes, it's going to happen. And I feel that that day, it was my time, but for whatever reason, it changed. I don't think I cheated death. I just think I was given another chance at life.